glad we're talking. This is kind of exciting because, first off, it's always fun talking to you about business, but you're my father. You've been my mentor my whole life. You're a full-time comedian, and you have a lot to give, and that's sort of your nature. So, and there's a lot of wisdom in your success and the way you've paved the road to teach me and to help other people invest their money in real estate or just how to plan for their finances in the future. But before we get into strategies, how did you get your entrepreneurial spirit? Where did that come from? What was your first business venture?
I had the spirit probably since I was born, son. It's something that I was born with. I didn't know much about it. When I was a teenager, I used to enjoy very much music. And so I would, and I liked the electronics as well. So I got into buying and selling music systems in those days, amplifiers, speakers, turntables. So I would buy them and sell them and get other ones and sell them again. And yeah, that's how I started. My second passion at that time was cars. So I started working for a dealership where I wasn't in the dealership, but if I could bring a customer, I would get a commission. And I also had a couple of places where to sell their used cars. Okay. So I would also sell a commission.
Wow.
So I was doing that when I was 15, 16 years old.
But was it the money or was it the hobby or was it?
It was both.
Okay.
The money was very important because it's how I paid to take out your mother.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So yeah, the money was very important, but it was my passion as well. And it was my passion of being in business.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that you say it's how you would take mom out, because I think the need for income, it creates a lot of that drive to that path to create something and to, generate cash flow.
Absolutely.
So
son.
that's that. So how would you say you got to where you are today from that? Because that's kind of a long stretch.
Life experience, son. I've been through a lot of things in my life. I was born in Mexico, raised there. My father was in the banking business, and also he had a small textile mill together with some partners, some family members. And I loved the bank. Mm-hmm. It was great. But then all banks were nationalized. They paid us very, very little money for the percentage that the family had. And that's the day that basically I decided to move to the States. I had to come to the States without knowing how things worked here because of the visa that I came with. I could not be employed. Mm-hmm. I had to start on my own. And so I started searching and looking for things. I have a very dear friend of Mexico who helped me a little bit with that because I was importing labels from Mexico. And then together with a couple of other very dear friends, I opened a very small car dealership in Dallas. Mm-hmm. Dallas went through a very, very bad recession. I thought that business that we were in was finite. I did not see the future in it, especially in those years. And so after shutting it down, which again, it's experience, failures are experience. And that's how I look at it. Mm-hmm. So after that experience, then I went into real estate.
Okay.
Unfortunately, I had two partners. I had one that was absolutely wonderful. He passed away. Mm-hmm. Wonderful gentleman. And he's the one who really brought me in. And then we got together with a con artist, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. And again, another bad experience. But that really taught me. Mm-hmm. It really taught me. In those years, I saw in Dallas was really in a depression in the mid to late 80s.
Okay.
Real estate, the buildings were empty. People were going under left and right. Businesses were closing. In those years, the banking was just state banking in Texas. We didn't have the national banks that you have. So most of the banking industry also folded. So it was very hard on everybody. It was hard to keep doing business. It was the real estate that I got involved did not do very well. We kept it. I've never given a property back in my life. We got rid of the bad guy. I stayed at the end alone with it. And then I moved to Los Angeles, where I started a business with my cousin, David, which he really taught me a lot at the beginning. I have learned a lot in Dallas, but my cousin also taught me a lot of a different way of doing it.
Come meet us over at signetinvestments.com. There you'll have access to our full podcast and articles archives. Also, if you subscribe there, you'll get new updates sent straight to your inbox. You can also find us across all social media platforms. Our handle is Signet Investing. Thank you, and invest wisely.